everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Tessia and these are beauty lessons, what God is speaking, teaching, and revealing to me. So we'll just get right into it. Recently, I had said to my husband that I wanted a nativity scene, and I did not pray about it, and I wasn't, I just said it on the side, like, oh, it'd be nice to have a nativity scene to add to our Christmas decorations. I think that would be, a nice thing to have. And it was kind of like, we have some Christmas decorations, and I have this scene that I put up every year that I made from Dollar Tree items when it was my very first Christmas in my own apartment, sober. And so it was like a special thing for me to have Christmas there, sober and in the Lord. And so I have this scene that I put up every year that has like white and gold theme and candles. I incorporated candles into it. And over the years, I've added little things like an ornament that says joy, and it's kind of like a manger scene. And there's these little placemat things that are poinsettias that are white and gold. And so, I've added things over the years, and God's brought me things over the years. A lot of the things were very inexpensive items to add to this Christmas decoration or this Christmas scene that I have. But it means so much to me because I used to spend my time just lighting the candles and put on worship music and just looking at it and praising God, thanking Him for my life. I really was in awe and amazed at what God had done in such a short amount of time, because the year prior in 2015, I had been drinking all the way up to September. And so a year later in 2016, to have my own apartment and to be sober, it was amazing. It was, life-changing for me. And I was just really thankful to God, really grateful to God. So I'd like to put it up every year because it takes me back to a place of simple gratitude to God for what He's done in my life. And so I thought I would love to have a nativity scene to add to our Christmas decorations. And I didn't think they would incorporate the way they did, but I thought that would be nice. So my husband and I were at Goodwill, and we were shopping for some things, and we were checking out. And as we were checking out, we were talking to the cashier. She was wrapping up some things that we had. And he said, oh, there's a nativity scene over there. And he went to look at it, and I was talking to her a little more. And then I went to go look at it. And it matched perfectly. And it was only $15, $14.99. And I, was talking to the cashier before I had looked at it. She said she spent $350 on her nativity scene. And that, I was like, wow, that's a lot of money. Nativity scenes are expensive. And so I boxed it up. We came home. And I've kept my eye out since I got this nativity scene. And nativity scenes are way, way, way more than just $15. This nativity scene, has all the pieces and everything's intact. And it has words on each character. It says like worship and praise and a king is born and oh holy night. And I love words. Words are my thing. I love a lot of words. I love using words. Words are a love language of mine. So it matches the gold and the white theme. I put it up and I put it all together recently, and I was just kind of amazed that it all incorporated so perfectly, and that God would provide in such a way that was so perfect and so inexpensive, because I wasn't about to spend over $300 on a nativity scene. So I was really blessed by it and really grateful. And, Oh Holy Night is my favorite hymn, Christmas carol. And I really, really like songs that talk about Jesus being king, or, God being king in our lives. I really like that. So, it has both those things. And I was just amazed that God would provide this for me and provide so perfectly for what I wanted without me even praying for it. I wasn't even like petitioning God for this. I just said it to my husband, on the side. And I wasn't even hunting a nativity scene out. So it kind of is a miracle to me that I have this nativity scene. But I recently shared about going through depression and discouragement and the D's, the lesson of the D's. If you haven't seen that yet, it's the video prior to this one, so you can go check that out. But God spoke to me. He said, if I can provide you, as I was going through all my difficulty, God said, if I can provide you for this nativity scene so perfectly, and provide for your needs so perfectly without you even really asking, how much more do you think I will provide the hope you need and the strength you need and the freedom that you need and the deliverance that you need? And I thought, yeah, I need it to cross over. I know God is so present in my life. I know he provides for all my needs. I see him working and moving in so many areas, in so many ways. And yet, how is it that it doesn't cross over into this area of hopelessness or discouragement or, needing to persevere and endure? So I thought, of course, God, of course you'll provide for my needs. Of course you'll provide life and joy and peace, things that aren't of this world. Nativity scene is natural. It's of this world. It will be destroyed one day. It will disappear. But hope and joy and things eternal, things everlasting, of course God will provide those for me. So it kind of tied into having faith. And along with that, I was praying about enduring and persevering and overcoming after I had gotten out of this bout of something trying to make me depressed and make me really heavied out and discouraged. I was praying and I realized, I need hope. I need to hold on to hope. I need to pray more for hope. Hope is a great thing to have. But I was praying and I prayed Romans 5, 3, I'll read it, 3 through 5. And I realized that suffering is directly related or indirectly related to hope. Suffering actually produces hope. So it says, not only so, but we also glory in our sufferings because we know that suffering produces perseverance. Perseverance, character, and character, hope. And hope does not put us to shame because God's love has been poured out into our hearts through the Holy Spirit who has been given to us. So suffering produces perseverance, perseverance produces character, and character actually produces hope. And I thought, wow, suffering produces hope. You would think the opposite would happen. But in God's economy and in God's ways, because his ways are not our ways and his thoughts are not our thoughts, suffering actually produces hope. And so as I was going through suffering, or as I am going to be going through suffering the next time, I don't know when I'll be suffering next, but I realized I need to have this attitude that it is supposed to refine me and produce hope in me. I am supposed to hope in God and hope in things out of this world, not in this world. I was talking about having hope in circumstances instead of hope in God. And God actually has been really highlighting verses to me about being a foreigner in this world and not being, of this world. In 1 Peter chapter 2, it says in verse 11, "Dear friends, I urge you as foreigners and exiles." So foreigners and exiles, not people of this world, to abstain from sinful desires which wage war against your soul. And then in 1 Peter 1, verse 17, it says, "Since you call on a Father who judges each person's work impartially, live out your time here as foreigners in reverent fear." So God's been highlighting to me, stop putting your hope in circumstances and in things working out right and in things going your way. Because when you're disappointed, it actually is my will be done, not God's will be done. And that disappointment comes from you holding on to what you thought was best to happen in this world instead of saying, well, God, I'm going to surrender to you and give you control. A verse actually stuck out to me today as I was reading 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 23. It says, "When they hurled their insults at him, Jesus, he did not retaliate. When he suffered, he made no threats. Instead, he entrusted himself to him who judges justly." So even Jesus didn't retaliate and didn't, at this time, there's times where Jesus, spoke harshly or rebuked people, but it says he entrusted himself to God who judges justly. So for me, God is showing me that I need to trust him. When I feel like an injustice has happened, because that's when you feel disappointed, you kind of feel robbed, or like something wrong has happened, not something right. You typically don't feel disappointed when something right happens. You feel disappointed when you feel like something wrong has happened. And so when I'm wronged, God's saying, you need to just trust me. You need to surrender control to me and trust my will. Even with this nativity scene, God said to me, my will is so much better than your will. What I have for you, what I want to provide for you is so much better than what you think you could provide for yourself, or what you think should be provided. Because had I really gone out and sought a nativity scene, I probably would have settled for a more expensive one, and one that I didn't like as much, because prices are really expensive for nativity scenes. So God is showing me that he provides perfectly for my needs, not just what I need, what I actually want, what I actually desire. And it's not, I didn't even know I desired it. I didn't even know I would have wanted that in a nativity scene, that I would have wanted the words and everything that was there. So it's like, wow, God, you provide so perfectly for my needs. And there's been other times where that's happened, where God has provided perfectly, in a price and in all the things that I wanted, the perfect price and the perfect everything that features, the perfect price and the perfect features for something else and other things. And it's like, God, you provide so perfectly. And so how it all comes down to trust and lack of trust, and not trusting that God knows what's best and God has what's best. So God is showing me I am a foreigner in this earth. I need to stop putting my hope in circumstances and in this world and things turning out right in this world, because that's where my hope should be. That suffering actually produces hope. And that when I suffer, I can't say what's wrong, why am I suffering? I have to embrace the suffering and let it refine me, let it accomplish its purposes. In James, it says, let perseverance finish its work in you, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. So in James, he's talking about trials producing perseverance. Here in Romans, he's talking about suffering producing perseverance, which produces character and actually produces hope. So there, God is just saying, you need to change your attitude. You need to change your mind and your attitude about suffering and about when things don't go your way. Change your attitude, change your perspective, and trust God. The next thing, and also God must really wanting to be showing me something about this verse, because I keep coming across this Romans 5 verse. It keeps coming to mind and coming up in life. So God just really must want me to know this verse about his love being poured out into my heart through the Holy Spirit, which he's given me, and about suffering and perseverance and character. Which, if that happens to you, I'm pointing that out, because if you're coming across a theme or something continuously or repetitively, ask God, what are you trying to show me? What are you trying to reveal to me? This keeps coming to mind, or this keeps coming up. God, what are you trying to get through to me? It's a good question to ask when there's repetitive things like that. But the last thing I wanted to share is, oh, that's right. Yesterday I was praying and I was surrendering everything to God, along with my will and God's will. I said, God, not my to-do list, your to-do list. Because there's so many things in a day that I think are important that I want to get done. And I can feel disappointed if I don't get them done, or I can feel, basically disappointed if I don't get them done, and frustrated. And so really at the beginning of the day, God is saying, give me control of this day at the beginning. Say, not my to-do list, your to-do list. Here's the things that I think need to be done, but not my to-do list, your to-do list, God. I give you control of my schedule. I give you control of my tasks and my chores and my life. I give you control and I surrender, not my to-do list, your to-do list, because like God just proved to me, he infinitely knows what's better, always. So the last thing I wanted to share is consistency. So God has really been putting a theme in my life of consistency in exercise, consistency in, I would like to learn an instrument and be more musical. So consistency in practice and learning, consistency in diet and eating healthy, consistency in work and, posting online, writing things. God is showing me that consistency always wins out. But along with that, along with this theme of consistency and being consistent in every area, you can't, not just being consistent in one area. You have to be consistent in multiple areas at the same time. A little bit every day goes a longer way than a lot one day. So what God's been showing me is that building takes more than maintaining. So if you think about this, building a habit, it takes more effort and energy than maintaining. And so often people start something and they think, this is too hard. I can't do this. If it's always going to be like this, it's too hard. And they quit, they stop. But building something actually takes more than maintaining something. And the examples I thought of was when you learn to play an instrument, building those skills take much more effort and energy than maintaining those skills. When you work out, building your muscle, building your strength takes much more effort and energy than maintaining your muscle and your strength. Cleaning and organizing, having a system set in place and maintaining that system, maintaining order in your home, doing the dishes every night is much easier than doing them once a week, because it's going to take a lot more effort, energy, and time. So God has been showing me that with consistency and staying consistent in a lot of areas, something to realize is that building takes more energy and effort than maintaining. So cling to hope that it won't always be like this. It won't always be as hard of a struggle if you're trying to build a new thing, if you're trying to stay faithful in praying every morning. Spiritual skills, they take more to build than maintain. But if you're trying to stay faithful in praying every morning, or working out, or eating healthy, or journaling, or whatever it is God's called you to really focus on and really be consistent in, building takes more than maintaining. So it may take a lot of effort and energy on the front end, but that is a lot, an investment that pays off on the back end. It's worth it to put all that effort and energy in on the front end so that you can maintain and enjoy your life. So those are the things that God is teaching me. I pray that this video blesses you. I pray it encourages you. If you've made it this far, I pray that you would like and subscribe, because when you like and subscribe, my content gets seen by more people. So comment below, like, subscribe, share this video with anyone who you think it would encourage. And I pray that you all have a blessed and a beautiful day, a day filled with God's beauty. Okay, see you next time. Bye.